welcome to Let Them Talk. And I love that new theme music we have, courtesy of Jana Astanov. Welcome, Jana, to welcome to our show, Let Them Talk. I'm so glad to have you aboard again.
It's wonderful to be back.
You've been here a couple of times now, and we always love your visits, but a lot has happened since the last time you were here. One of them being you had a baby. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yes, last time I think I was here 2 years ago. So since then, I wrote a new poetry collection, Birds of Equinox, and the song that we just listened to, it's a composition based on one of the poems from the recent collection, and the collection is dedicated to my son, Janis. He was supposed to be born on the 21st of March, spring equinox, therefore Birds of Equinox. And the song...
Did he cooperate?
No, he came out a week later, but it's all fine.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah,
Babies
absolutely.
Are like close enough for jazz.
The book is still Birds of Equinox, and the song that we listen to, it's a poem, Mother Island. The composition is yet another new thing in my life, Astral Loop. It's a band. I started with my partner, Nico Van Ekten. And it's a rather dark collection, mainly because I think we don't really know very much about motherhood within our culture. We don't discuss it. We don't talk about so many things related to motherhood, starting from breastfeeding through, the reality of being a mother, and also reality of being a mother in one of the richest societies, countries in the world, like United States, where pretty much everything costs you a lot of money compared to other countries and compared to Europe, where I'm from. So the collection is rather dark, and the poem we just listened to, Mother Island, is also a reflection of the planetary energies that we are going through. So that's yet another thing. I've been developing performance art character called Yananda. Yananda, the one who speaks with the stars. And every month I come up with my astral analysis of the world and the planetary energies that we are all going through, also as a country and as the United States. I've been making predictions since last January, so it's been something I started last January, and I started making prediction based on the planetary energies.
So you sort of like astrology?
I call it astrofeminism.
Astrofeminism?
Yes, it's astrofeminism.
So how do you base that? What do you look at? Do you divine using something, or...?
Well, astrofeminism is a part of ecofeminism, and it's all about the energies of our planet and its satellite, moon, La Luna, and all the other celestial objects within our solar system, but also a larger galaxy. For instance, I've been writing about this. I have a series called Cosmic Portals, and I write about interesting occurrences within our galaxy. So it's mainly the information mainly comes from astronomy, and then I use my gift of channeling to interpret the astronomy data. So it's a theory that is based on it's focused on Earth, but it doesn't deny the heliocentric theory of Nicholas Copernicus, who is also Polish.
Right,
just like me.
That's true. Yes.
Right.
Very good.
And you can read my updates on pretty much regular basis. I write every week, whether it's on my magazine, Creatrix.com.
Creatrix mag.
Yeah.
Creatrixmag.com. Right. So good. We'll remind people of that. Creatrix with an X mag.com. There it is, right there, and you can see that is some of the material you've been working on, right? Oh my gosh, look at it, very interesting.
Yeah, I with this magazine, I'm trying to turn underground culture to become a popular culture, I guess. There is a lot of information about performance art, music, especially the electronic, dark electronica, electronic scene. You can definitely see. You can read about what's happening right now in New York and what's worth checking out. We also take submissions. We publish poetry, short stories. There is a Kalima procession there. That's an essay. It's actually a fantastic essay about Black Madonna. And as you can see, there are different articles written by Yananda. There is one about a great attractor, vortex of power. That's one of the cosmic portals situated in constellation of Sagittarius. So there is a lot of interesting information.
Do you create these images?
Most of them, actually,
Beautiful.
right now, Numena Music of the Spheres, those images come from the curatorial series, Magic and Shamanism. That's yet another
Are you still a
new
photographer? I remember last time we talked, you were quite a photographer.
Since I had a baby, I use much less the camera, and I carry around my son instead of the camera. But
of course.
I do create collages, and my partner Nico very often takes pictures of my creations. So not as much photography. However, I've been so prolific as photographer through many years that there is a large database of images.
How about your work in performance, which is, I guess, what we're talking about? But have you been doing some of those more intricate performances you were doing?
Absolutely. I've been quite busy with performing as different characters and also exploring different themes aside from astrofeminism. I've been really moved by the information that come to the US from Poland. So this year in 2019, there were two big news coming from Poland, and they were both about Ministry of Culture censoring female Polish artists. One of them, Natalia LL, and another one, Elżbieta Podleśna. So I decided to collage the artworks that they were censored for.
Oh, they were censored. Their work was
Yes.
censored. Why was it
Yes.
censored?
Well, Natalia LL created this performance for camera in the 70s when she ate a banana. And the current Polish religious
I
police.
read about
yes.
that. And she suggested, it's not even suggested, she ate a banana, but that was considered suggestive.
Yes, so we've got a new religious police in Poland, and her artwork was banned and censored.
For eating a banana.
Eating
How
a
about
banana-
eating an apple?
She
very
didn't only
religious.
eat a banana, so you need to
Oh,
know
there's more
you need
to
to
it.
you need to know economic reality of those times. The 70s in communist Poland weren't as bad as the 80s when I was born and grew up, but still, having a banana in Poland in the 80s was something special. You would only eat that banana on Christmas Day.
They're not everywhere like here.
And you would devour it, and you would savor it because it was so precious, and each bite was just such unusual taste. So, in a way, we can see the work of Natalia LL as a criticism of communist system.
Oh, I see. Because nobody could get a banana.
I don't think the current political elite saw it this way. It was deemed inappropriate, and yes.
It's interesting what can be deemed inappropriate in a totalitarian sort of society, right? Poland's not quite totalitarian, but a strict religious society like that.
I don't think so, actually. It hasn't been when I was growing up in Poland, and I don't think it is right now. I think there is a certain propaganda, and the political elite, people in power, are trying to create this image of Poland that is religious and conservative, whereas in fact, the reality is completely different, and I experience it by, becoming Polish Madonna. So the other part of the kata technique is the artwork of Elżbieta Podleśna, painted a rainbow around Black Madonna, Lady of Częstochowa, and she ended up in jail.
Who is that? Who is the Black Madonna in Polish history? Every country has one, it seems.
Yeah, absolutely. As you saw on magazine Creatrix, there is the Black Madonna.
It's the Da Vinci Code. It's that that Christ, basically his girlfriend, came over with his kid to Europe and became the Merovingian dynasty or something like that, right?
It depends on the historical tradition that you follow and how you read the Bible. So all the Christian saints, they have aura around them and white light.
Like you do right now, right?
However, when you divide the light, then it becomes through the prism. You can see individual colors, so it becomes the rainbow. Just like Kundalini energy that is raising through us, when it expands and explodes, creates a rainbow. So you can go to prison in Poland for 2 years for that.
For messing with a religious icon or something like that.
Right.
Like Pussy Riot in Russia when they
did
the nasty on it.
That's correct. So I decided.
But even less. You don't even have to go that far. You can just do something lesser than that. So, are you in violation of the law in Poland when you do this?
I was curious myself, and I did this performance first in Venice during the Venice Biennale, and I performed that in Polish Pavilion. There is a video of me.
Is that what we're going to watch now?
Yeah,
let's go to the video now, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Right.
She just introduced the video, so let's go to the video. We're going to play it for about, 3 or 4 minutes?
That sounds great.
About 3 or 4 minutes we'll play this video. And this is Let Them Talk. I'm Paul Durienzo, and Jana Astanov is my guest.
Volei una banana? Mamma. Volei una banana? Volei una banana? Che bello! È particolare. Proszę bardzo. Bardzo dziękuję. Che belli siete. Volei una banana? Volei una banana? Grazie. Volei una banana? Guardate che piacere. Look, sir. Lovely. So what ladies are you doing? Volei una banana? Volei una banana? Proszę bardzo, dziękuję. Musi mangiare. Volei una banana?
Dankeschön.
Proszę bardzo. Volei una banana? No, grazie. Volei una banana? Volei una banana? Volei una banana? Una banana? Che banana? Dai. Volei una banana?
Grazie.
Jana? Dai banana. Dai banana. Polish Madonna likes bananas. They call me Jana banana. Polish Madonna with a child.
right, good. That was great. All right, Jana Astanov, that was you as the Polish Madonna in
With
Venice,
a child.
with child, of course.
Who eats bananas. She likes
Right.
also other fruits, not only bananas.
Right, right. But you were eating a banana, giving them out and eating the bananas. Now, is this something that under the present regime in Poland could get you in trouble if you did that?
So I actually, after Venice, I went to Poland. I spent a few days in Warsaw, and I also went to my hometown, Elk, which is famous for being the most Catholic religious town in Poland, and most likely in whole Europe, based on the number of churches per person. So one day I ventured. It was Sunday. I ventured into that little town, wearing my whole outfit with my child, and I was a little bit afraid, I must say. But nothing happened, and then later that day I decided to I plan on performing as Polish Madonna with a child in front of the statue of Pope.
In the middle of town, right?
It's actually the place where I used to.
John Paul II, right?
That's correct.
Right.
Jan Paweł II.
I was raised.
Ojciec Święty.
I went to 10 years of Catholic schools.
How impressive!
I know. I got kicked out though for the last two. I would have been 12 if I didn't get kicked out.
Did you burn the Bible?
No, I didn't have to do that. I worked against the Vietnam War. I was very active against the Vietnam War, and I just never came. Had all these hippie political friends, and I just never made it to school.
Political activism. So
yeah,
you see,
that's what got me. And also, but it was cultural too, because I was hanging out with the college students back then. Fordham University was a hotbed of anti-war youth radicalism. It was not like today. And I took one look at that, and they couldn't find me all day. I was more excited by that than anything they taught in school.
You see, your generation has a lot to teach the me generation, or otherwise known as millennials.
Right. It was pretty amazing. It was definitely, and I've never seen anything like that since. I was lucky enough to go to a high school that was on a college campus. So I would go to high school. I had to actually enter a college campus, and college campuses of that era were hotbeds.
You see, I really would love to see this level of civic disobedience in relation to ecological emergency, and we start seeing it. We're talking previously about performances I did around this subject, but I don't think there is enough of it. And those are the themes that I also explore in my work.
You're right.
Actually, I wrote a novel. It's an eco-porn, which hopefully is going to be published in the coming year.
Sure.
And it's about ecological emergency. And to give away a little bit of a plot is my alter ego, Jana J, who is fighting with the evil corporations and government through the power of her multiple orgasms.
Good for her.
Yeah, eco-porn. It's the genre that I chose. So I did this performance in Elk, but I didn't give bananas. I gave apples.
Right.
Because it's really the symbolic. Banana is a phallic shape. However,
that's what I thought the story was. That's why I thought. That was somehow in people's crazed, fevered imaginations. To me, it says more about the people, what's going on in the dirty minds of the people who see a banana and can't imagine anything else with a...
But let's not lose focus. It's about female empowerment. And we can only imagine what sort of institutions and cultural values would develop if we had, instead of the Pope, if we had papess. So for that performance, I became La Papesse, Jana, Paola II, and I was giving.
Means a small child pope or a female.
La
pope?
Papesse, it's also one of the tarot
there was
cards.
a Pope Joan. The story about a Pope Joan.
No, but I'm fascinated by religion in the U.S. I started going to church here. It's a Lutheran church, and the first service I went to. There was a pastor who was female. I think she was gay and also pregnant. So in
Was
Polish
that in New York?
standards, yes.
New York City's a little different, right?
In
But you
Polish
can find
standards,
anything
she would be in jail. I'm pretty sure. However, it was really moving, and I don't have a problem participating in those religious events. I simply sing, and in my head I replace the god with the goddess, and my son really enjoys that. Also, I curated recently last weekend for the equinox, fall equinox, my magic and shamanism series, Numena.
Yes.
And it was really gorgeous.
Magic and shamanism. I know you know a lot about shamanism. You went through a whole experience. We talked about before with a magazine and a newspaper and a writer and all those kind of things. The hallucinogenic world of
Astrofeminism is also, in a way, it's a shamanic knowledge that Asyananda, the one who speaks with the stars, I channel to people, and I give it freely if you come to my performance.
Do you have a performance coming up that you want people to know
I do
about?
have a poetry reading for Bet of Equinox. It's going to be on the 14th of October in a place called Synesthesia in Bushwick, and it's actually my publishing project, Red Temple, which is an imprint of Creatrix magazine. We are publishing another book of poetry by a friend of mine, Jeremy Slater, who is a musician and a multimedia artist.
Are you going to read a poem for us?
Would you like one?
I would love you to.
Absolutely.
Jana Astanov is going to read a poem.
We listened to the song Mother Island, so I think that would be something I would like to read.
Sure.
Where's the camera?
It's looking at you. It'll find you. Camera always finds you.
Mother Island, a mound of skeletons and teeth. All the dead maidens fertilizing the soul like love minerals, love bites. This is forbidden dream to be dreamt of freedom, of a careless dance around the fire. Mother Island, where the gods took her, devoured, spat out her bones. The gods of the underworld with the solid foundations for the mother to anchor in the frenzy of sea. Mother Island, I want that image projected at midnight in all cathedrals, mosques, synagogues, and temples simultaneously, you see. A need of idols in warm, dark women. Human innards in bloody chambers, tearing pain round eternal cycles, drawing our laughter into a secret image. I scroll inside as a graffito mama.
Great, wonderful. It's always great hearing your poetry, Jana. Wow, very cool. So what's next for you? What are you working on next?
I have a few publishing projects. I've been writing a lot recently as part of my Astrofeminism series about cosmic portals, full moons, new moons. I also I prepare for print my first novel.
Oh, great.
Eco-porn.
Yes,
so hopefully, when it comes out next year.
Oh, I can't wait to get it.
Oh, I've got a copy. Here you are. This one is for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'll write something inside later on.
Oh, great, wonderful. Birds of Equinox. I have a wonderful book of poetry.
And I'm also planning another large event. Last one was the equinox. The next one is going to be winter solstice. And hopefully it's going to be also in the same temple of spirit.
Where's that?
It's in Greenpoint,
Okay.
Polish community. However, the church is Lutheran, so it's the Park Church Co-op.
Oh, I see. And they let you use the space there for your performance? Is that it?
So I created a successful event, and I think it resonated, and it was respectful towards the towards the values of the community.
I think you're great. I can't imagine why any religious state would not embrace you as a great Madonna, as a person who gives great credit and should be respected for your contribution to religious thought.
And
why not?
We are also performing. Thank you. As Astroloop in the church for children
Yes.
on the 27th of October. It's a Halloween for children, so if you've got young kids, you would definitely enjoy. We are going to create the light experience.
Oh, I see. Great.
And music.
For at the church, you're saying, at the same location?
Right.
And that'll be for the kids, like an indoor Halloween thing for little ones, types.
Yeah, I actually perform for children in Poland. I created with my partner Nicholas summer solstice for kids in Poland. So that was really beautiful. And since we have our own child, we try to integrate him into our creative life and make art also for him, art that him and his friends would enjoy, and we would build community around our family. I think the concept of community is very important.
So I'm glad you got out of Poland in one piece. You didn't get thrown in a dungeon somewhere in Krakow, where the...
I was in Warsaw and I performed this piece in Warsaw. The police passed by me and didn't do anything. So the reception was really fantastic. I think Poles really appreciate this kind of art, and I think the media and the political elite is trying to create atmosphere of fear so people wouldn't stand up and speak up.
Tell them something in Polish. We got a few seconds left. So in case you have a Polish audience, because we're on the internet.
Zapraszam wszystkich na wieczór poetycki 14 października na Bushwick w galerii Synesthesia. Będę również czytała poezję po polsku.
I love having language on my show. That's why we have language from all over the world on the show at different times. So thanks, Jana, for joining us. Really
My
appreciate
pleasure.
having you. You were wonderful. Thanks for reading, and check out her website, creatrixmag.com.